What up, guys? I'm Random Vaughn with Danks Warner Emporium, and you're listening to the How to Smoke Weed podcast. I'm joined again with Steve. What up, Steve?
What's up?
Yo, guys, we're going to be going over some kind of interesting topical cannabis news today. There's just a lot populating in because it is a Tuesday. It is the 9th of July, so I hope everybody out there had a good 4th of July. So first off, Steve, I want to talk about it first before anything else, because my man Jay-Z is in the news with cannabis. What's your thoughts, Steve?
Well, first of all, I always find it weird when people say topical when talking about cannabis.
Give me those topicals.
Yeah,
Okay,
'cause it makes me
so
think
Steve, what is Jay-Z in the news for cannabis? Why? What is going on?
Jay-Z apparently wants to be the face of some cannabis company, is what it looks like.
So
Or
you
they want him to be the face of
well,
cannabis.
dude, yeah, I mean, obviously a lot more high profile and that kind of stuff. So give the listeners what is the headline, because some people obviously haven't seen this. It hasn't come
All
across
right,
their
the official
Twitter
headline.
feed. Yeah.
The rapper says he also wants to increase economic participation from people returning from incarceration through job training and workforce development.
I think that's a great thing to say. I mean, obviously, people are getting let out. They were a part of this industry in the black market, and now they should be the ones that get to re-enter the workforce. So I would love to see what – I'd like more than a headline than that and see what that's actually going to pertail for this company. So what company – what's the name of the company that Jay-Z is partnering with?
It looks like it's Caliva, Caliva.
Yeah, I'm going to say I have no idea how to say that either, but I'm going to go with – Caliva as well. So so the one thing that I'm just going to bring to the context is, like, for most people listening, they have never heard of this company. I guarantee 99%. So they have a farm, which they don't even, in this article, doesn't even say how big the farm is. And then they have 2 stores in Northern California. So good for them. I'm sure those are recreational stores. And they distribute their products to 24 retailers, which is a very small, like, sounds like a very small company for Jay-Z to be getting involved in. Like, if I counted all the people out there that have 2 retail locations and a grow, to think that you're going to get have someone like Jay-Z take your phone calls, that sounds crazy, right?
As well as NFL legend Joe Montana putting in $75 million.
Yeah, so I think there's the way that they got Jay-Z is Joe Montana put in $75 million. So I think this this farm operation, they must be doing just a massive expansion, right? And it must be in the Bay Area or, outside, kind of probably where all they grow all those grapes and, all that wine out over there. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what they're doing with that $75 million, but that $75 million got Jay-Z to return a phone call. So,
that is,
so
I can't even imagine what they'd be doing with that money.
Yeah, here's the question. Do you think Joe Montana knew Jay-Z before or after this? That's the thing. I just want to know.
Personally?
Yeah, I just want to know if Jay-Z, like, if Joe Montana is like, yo, man, when I'm in New York, of course, I just call him my foo Z. That's how I call him. I don't even call him Jay-Z. I just call him Yo Z. And he, like, we go see basketball games. Like, I go to his basketball games. So, I don't know. I mean, Jay-Z is obviously, on track to be the first. No, he's not the first rapper billionaire.
He's Dr. Dre got $1 million, but he didn't really get $1 billion, but he didn't really get $1 billion. So he's not
Jay-Z
technically a billionaire.
Yeah, so Jay-Z is the first actual billionaire for that. But crazy. Okay,
Net
man.
worth, yeah.
So give me any thoughts, any final opinions on Jay-Z entering the cannabis business?
Well, first of all, I don't really understand the headline. So, increase economic participation of people returning from incarceration through job training and workforce development. Does that mean he wants to get these people into the cannabis industry or just a job period?
I think he wants to get them a job in the industry. I think there's a lot of people in different demographics. I'm not going to say minorities, but in different camps, because also includes a lot of lower income white people, Hispanic, like Latino, like there's a lot of people in that economic range that have been incarcerated unfairly because of cannabis. And those people, when they come out, should be able to re-enter this industry. I think that's a big thing. Like we were doing and been talking about New Jersey a lot the last several days, and we've been putting out content that people have listening to this may have seen, is the fact that, yay, they want you to put on your thing of how you're helping minorities and how you're helping veterans and all this kind of stuff. and totally leave out the fact that, well, if you have a criminal background, we're going to remove your application from the pile. We're going to do a background check on you. Dude, it's literally like, okay, well, you should hire them after the fact of you getting the license and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's a great thing. I think the industry needs to bring those people back in. For example, someone was growing large amounts of cannabis illegally, got busted. Well, dude, yeah, he comes out of jail, hopefully early because we remove the penalties, and he gets to get a job growing again because that's what he loved to do. That's what instead of going and working at Payless Shoes, and I use Payless Shoes as an example because they've gone out of business. So, but I guess the headline to me, what the big headline actually was, is just Jay-Z. Jay-Z partners with cannabis company as brand strategist. I think. Oh yeah, what is Jay-Z's role? I think we totally skipped over that.
Chief brand strategist.
Yeah. So I mean, let's put it this way: there is Dr. Dre, and then there's Jay-Z, and Jay-Z is Dr. Cool, and he has always made whatever he does cool.
Oh yeah.
And so like that's the thing. I just want to like. Here's my only 2 cents on this. I didn't ever know Jay-Z to be a big weed smoker. I didn't know Beyonce to be a big weed smoker. So, like, that's the thing I don't even understand is, like, how does he like cool? Cause have you known him to be a weed smoker? If I had to name the top 10 rappers that I know to smoke weed.
Snoop Dogg. But I think that he's been known to
really
smoke a blunt here and there.
Really?
Yeah. Jay-Z?
No, dude. I'm just going to be honest, man. Like, when I think Jay-Z, I'm just going to be totally honest. I think, like, doesn't he has, like, a liquor company, right, too? Like, him and...
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he has a liquor.
Omniac or whatever.
Yeah, whatever. So I think of him, I've always thought of him more that direction, and I've always thought it, and I'm not trying to, and I'm not saying I don't have any first-hand knowledge of this. I've always seen him more of, like, a Coke person, and that kind of, and so I don't know that. I'm just saying if I had to think of, like, what was it.
This, man.
Yeah, all I'm
They're
saying.
going to pull your credentials.
I know they are. So I'm just saying that's, like, if I think of Jay, like, you have Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Dr. Dre, dude, the entire D12.
Yeah, if
like,
you were gonna
Jay-Z is not on the Mount Rushmore of rap pot smokers.
No,
like,
yeah, but I'm sure Snoop Dogg was booked.
Well, yeah, Snoop Dogg. I'm gonna be totally. Snoop Dogg's already partnered with a bunch of companies, so yeah, I could see how. I'm gonna try and say it again. Cal Eva, like, there wasn't an option. So yeah,
I mean, I don't know how they got in with Joe Montana. But man,
Joe Montana's an advocate, man, dude. That football's injuries and, like, all the other issues. Like, I'm so glad he came out publicly and did that. Now, the first thing, everybody I talked to about Joe Montana investing $75 million, I still remember when that news broke. Everybody was like, yo, I didn't know Joe Montana rolled like that. Like, did you know Joe Montana had $75 million just to make one investment with? Like, you knew he had endorsement deals.
Yeah. I wouldn't question him having the money at all.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that. But, dude, do you know what an average, when he was winning Super Bowls, we should look up. Okay, while I'm doing the next one, I want you to look up what Joe Montana's top salary annually was in the NFL. Now, this is someone who won 4 Super Bowls. Okay, there is no way. I don't believe he made, I guarantee he didn't make over $10 million a year, like, in NFL salary and that kind of stuff. Okay, anyways, guys, we're going to move on. While Steve's looking that up.
Average salary of only $365,000.
Exactly, dude. Did you know he was rolling with $75 million to invest in cannabis?
However, that very year, Montana signed a 4-year, $13 million deal.
Yes,
That's in 1990.
I know, dude. Like, it's crazy how low the pay used to. Guys, we got to get back on cannabis. We'll talk. Don't get me talking sports. But anyways, dude, if you're going to take anything away from this, the headline is Jay-Z is not on the Mount Rushmore of cannabis. Period. Like, I'm sticking to that. Okay, so this article, which I love today, guys, if you didn't see it come across your news feed, I totally get it. It's not going to get that much press, so that's why we're talking about it here. And it is teens less likely to use cannabis when it's legal, U.S. study finds. So, Steve,
I bet these teens know more about Jay-Z than randomness.
No! Jay-Z is old. He is old. Dude, how old is Jay-Z?
I don't know.
Oh, dude, he's old.
40's the new 30.
I'm just like, a 40 is the new... Keep telling yourself that. Yeah, try and tell an 18-year-old that. Okay.
That's a Jay-Z song, man. Come on.
Okay, anyways. Teenagers are less likely... research at Montana State University. Is weed legal in Montana?
I doubt it.
Okay, you got to look that up. Okay, because I'm not gonna be wrong on the green map on this show. Looked at health surveys as U.S. high school people from 1993 to 2017. So big, long study. While overall use of the drug among young people went up in the U.S., aka they're going to count. I want to know what they consider young. But anyways, teen use declined by nearly 10% by states where recreational use was legalized. Okay, like this is, I'm just going to get on my high horse here for 2 seconds, and you can knock me down. But, dude, Nancy Reagan was wrong. The whole DARE thing was wrong. Everyone was always wrong. And every time I've had to sit in a state and hear some, politician state that if you legalize it, that, how, like, it's going to hurt the youth and they're going to have access to it and all this kind of stuff. It's going to be in the houses and everyone's going to use, clearly shows when you regulate it and you get, so Montana is it medical?
Medical,
yes,
yeah.
medical. So this, in all honesty, in my opinion, this study was probably funded by people by people who wanted to come out and be like, look, the use went up, it's a bad thing, like all this kind of stuff. Like, I truly believe that this study was like really done to show that like states that have medical shouldn't legalize it into recreational. What this clearly shows is, guess what, guys? When you don't have it where people are just growing it in their basements and home and you remove that incentive, guess what? Retail stores don't sell to kids at skate parks. Period. Okay? And so once you remove any kind of financial incentive for people to grow in their house because the prices all go down in recreational, you remove teen use. End of story.
Okay, now I have to play devil's advocate here.
Okay, yeah.
So,
Because my 2 + 2 = 4 every day on this one.
Okay,
and I've been
so-
saying this for a long time, so glad there's finally a
I'm
study.
not saying that it doesn't. I'm just saying that, a lot of people start drinking from getting in their dad's liquor closet, not from the guy selling them beer at the skate park.
Yes. But most people started getting weed or continuously able to access weed not from stealing it from their parents' stash.
Right.
So
But now
let's
that's-
go. So everyone, like, I'll be totally honest, man. We do lots of interviews, people coming on board. We ask them, like, hey, when did you start smoking weed? Like, why are you passionate about weed? We ask them all these questions. I'm going to be totally honest, especially here in Washington, the average, not even the average, dude, I would say like 90% of people really, when they're honest, they just admit, like, hey, I first tried, if you really want to know, I first tried cannabis when I was 12, 13. And then I smoked through high school. Like, people, that is, if you grow up on the West Coast, that's a very common life story. You go to people who are more in like Texas or areas like that, it's always like, they'll be like, well, I started really early, and then they say 16. It's just different areas. I just believe, okay, so Steve, how did you first access cannabis ever? Thinking all the way back.
Whew.
Yeah. Like where did you get it? If we're gonna have the conversation, where did you get it? That's the whole thing.
Well, definitely not from my mom.
Yeah.
And I would say that the first alcohol I consumed was, well, I grew up in a family where it's like there was no like nothing. So my mom, if there was a big party with our family, like we could have a sip of wine or something,
Okay.
even from a
Yeah, that's a cultural thing.
pretty young age. But weed, it had to be from one of my friends, and I don't know where they got it. Probably either stole it from their parents or bought it from some guy at the corner. I don't know.
So that's the thing. I think, like, when I think back to growing up, it is nobody did I get the cannabis from was ever like someone's own direct grow. Like this, I do new friends that it was like, oh, their dad grows, or that kid was never the source. It was always that we got it from someone who was illegally growing in some quantity, and it was coming through a dealer, and that's even at a young age. There was some hookup. It was never theft. It was always bought by somebody.
Yeah.
And so that's my thing. Is like, that is where I believe most teens get it. Is it's coming through a source of somebody selling it to them who doesn't care that they're smoking it.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I'm not even debating that fact. I was just playing devil's advocate for just a different angle. Because I don't know. I haven't researched this. We have to ask Joe Montana.
God damn it. Well, guys, we are we're running out of time, so we got to get through these other stories. So we got to jump on this. So one thing is, and I don't think we're going to spend a bunch of time on this, but Canada shares tumble after Canadian regulators seize cannabis. So I actually want to know, did you get a chance to review this article at all? Because someone's having a really bad day today after doing something wrong to get their stuff seized. So what's going on with this article, Steve?
I have no idea. I haven't even.
Okay, then I'm going to move on to the article I really care about, which is that, guess what? I think a lot of people listening and watching right now did not realize that the medical cannabis in Europe is really moving fast and a lot further forward than we thought. So I want to just go over a little bit of information. This article is specifically talking about Greenlight. I'm not trying to give them a big shout out. They're not a sponsor or nothing like that. But the article was around Greenlight Pharmaceuticals and how they're doing all this medical stuff and how they're looking to try and expand. But so I just want to go over for all the viewers. Let's go over the medical area. Like obviously 2003, classic 2003, the Netherlands legalizes it. And I'm not going to go into all those laws because it technically wasn't recreational, but obviously Amsterdam becomes the big, party town, yay, legal cannabis. Then Spain, which a lot of people forget, they're number 2, 2005. Then we have Austria, 2008. We have Denmark and Switzerland in 2011. 2012 has the Czech Republic, France, Italy, and Romania. And that's why you're like a lot of now hemp is also grown, I believe, in Romania. 2005 is I'm even going to say that wrong. What is it? Cortinia? I don't even know where that is in the world. Obviously somewhere in Europe. And then 2016, Poland and Norway. Shout out
Croatia?
Did I say it wrong? Oh, yeah, it is Croatia. Thank you, Steve. Good save. Dude, I totally couldn't see it on my small little screen. You have a bigger screen than me. I have screen envy on this show. Okay, 2017, Germany, Greece, Luxembourg, which is like right next to Germany. And then the UK, 2018, UK, Ireland, Portugal, and the Malta. And so here's the thing. Steve, name another country that's even in Europe. Like I'm trying to think. Like
on the same topic, did you see that Israel's have started a bachelor program for medical marijuana science?
Oh yeah, I mean Israel. I didn't see that.
Israel, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Israel's been doing tons of stuff like that for a while. I mean, I don't know why they're not included on this chart. I was just reading from the chart that is presented in this article. So I think the thing for a lot of us over here in the U.S., we're always focused on like what states finally coming online, all these kind of things, man. Lots of opportunity in Europe and a lot of people getting the benefits from it. Now, in this podcast, we don't have the time to talk about all the regulations and all those things of how it is expanding over there and all that kind of stuff and when, but I do know that Canada is directly they're shipping out and importing it into Germany for medical use, so I know that's going on. I think what we're kind of waiting for is when we can see the big, like what countries are going to go recreational over there as well. So anyways, what are your thoughts on this, Steve? I'm putting you on the hot seat.
You put me on the
Steve.
hot seat. I wasn't really.
That's what I do.
attention.
I think my favorite part of the show is just asking you questions and you saying you don't know. I think that's my favorite thing.
I do a lot about Jay-Z.
Exactly.
You got way
Okay,
up.
guys. So we're sorry that we got to keep this episode short. That is kind of the news you need to know around cannabis today for the How to Smoke Weed podcast. Steve, anything on any other regulatory things of that we're going to be covering on another show? Whether is it a state? Is there some states that we're going to be talking about? Is Montana going to be one that's going to be in our crosshairs coming
Sure.
up? Okay. Well, guys, be looking in tomorrow. I'm not promising Montana, but we'll be going over a specific state on the How to Smoke Weed podcast. So, guys, you have an awesome day. Be sure to live higher. I'm Random Vaughn with Danks Wonder Emporium. Steve?
See you tomorrow.
Peace.